Good evening and welcome to the Kim B. Davis Show. I'm your host, Kim B. Davis, and this evening we have one of our favorite guests. We have Mr. Eric Harp. He is our certified professional fitness trainer and educator. And of course, he's going to talk about circuit training this evening and current events and get us all caught up. Good evening, Mr. Harp. How are you?
My sister, Mrs. Davis. How are you today? I'm
I
doing
am
very well.
I'm great. I'm ready to chop it up and get into this conversation because we have lots going on.
Come on, I've been waiting on you. I done grew this little thing out waiting on you.
I see. All right. So what we gonna have some wisdom come out of that beard, that goatee, should I say. So of course, our first topic is our Speaker of the House. So Kevin
What?
McCarthy is
What?
the Speaker of the House. You know, we
Do
don't
we have one of those?
we don't have one. We don't have one.
Oh,
Kevin
we shopping
McCarthy,
for one. Okay.
right? We're shopping for one. Kevin McCarthy, you know, they voted him out. And so now we have to have someone new. They've been caucusing, trying to get support, and Jim Jordan, he rose to the forefront. They had a vote today, and they said no. So I believe he's reorganizing, trying to figure out if he can gather some more support and maybe make another run at it. You remember Kevin McCarthy? He ran it what, about 5, 6 times before they finally voted him in?
15.
15
15.
times before they voted him in. Yes, guys, this is America, and this is the fascinating part about our government, that we have these processes and scenarios that play out to put people in positions of power. And this is an important position of power. So let's not, negate it, minimize it, anything like that. It's very important. However, the circus that's surrounding it, that's entertaining. Go ahead, Mr. Hurt.
Well, you hit it right on the nail. That is third in line to the presidency.
Yes.
If anything were to happen to the president, vice president, the speaker of the house, then becomes the president.
Correct.
And now for the last many years, we've been dealing with the vitriol, the hate speech, and all the ill, nasty words pointed at Nancy Pelosi.
Yes.
As a woman leader, as a Democrat, it's a tough job.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And she held it on. Now we go through this fiasco. The Republicans get in charge of the House, and Kevin McCarthy has to go through the vote 15 times. Mm-hmm. 15 times. And by going through 15 times, in order to not suffer a loss on the 16th time, he cut some deals. He cut some deals to let the extremists, the Matt Gaetz, the Jim Jordans, those ilk, let them have just one vote to knock him out. I saw that one person just raise it up and knock him out. And that's what Matt Gaetz did. So he toppled the whole house of cards. Mm-hmm. Now, as for those who are not aware, Steve Scalise and Jim Jordan went up for the nomination. Scalise didn't get it, so he backed out. And then Jim Jordan. Mm-hmm. Now, here we are. We're going to go through this thing 15, 16, 20, 25 more times to get a guy who doesn't even know how to put a suit jacket on, comes to work with rolled up sleeves. Yes. And, no tie and talks so loud. Mm-hmm. But the cloud that he's under is another thing. All of these people who are supposed to be impeccable, who are supposed to be the top of the line, all have these clouds and scandals and backgrounds that why would we even want to have them there? So this Ohio State wrestling fiasco, sexual allegations, and him keeping quiet and not doing anything goes to show his character, because that's exactly what he's done in the Senate, or excuse me, in the House of Representatives, is absolutely nothing, turned his back and acted like I didn't see anything. Mm-hmm. So by being the third person in line, we're no better off. We're still in the same old rut that we were in when you had a Kevin McCarthy who didn't have the backbone either. Mm-hmm. So nothing has changed, just the cast of characters. And so new people, new faces, new names, same results. And they need to get smart and just let Hakeem Jeffries run everything.
I'm with you on that. I want to see that.
You know, if they would just get smart instead of come out of their pride and their feelings, come out their feelings and just let the brother run the show. He's got
Mm-hmm.
ideas.
Mm-hmm.
We way past just having to be articulate.
Right.
We way past just having to be articulate. This brother's dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, um, he has the rhythm and pace of a preacher, the way he speaks.
Yes.
So he's very listenable, and I think we'd be better off if we just allowed persons like him to come out and run the show.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that people will get smart, and I hope he continues doing what he's doing because brother Hakeem Jeffries is on the rise.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. When his name was first broached, I got really excited because I said that would be an excellent choice for
Mm-hmm.
Speaker of the House.
He was going to be it anyway if they just won.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So we have, we have war. War happens all the time. Unfortunately, there's a terrible situation happening between Israel and Palestine right now. And there is just violence and mayhem. There was a bombing today. They said they killed 500 people.
Hospital
And
bombing.
yes, a hospital bombing. And Israel at first applauded themselves, saying that they had done a great thing and killed all these rebels and these militants, and then realized that there were civilians. And then they started deleting tweets and saying, "Oh no, no, no! It was Hamas. It was Hamas." And Hamas is like, "We didn't do that." And so, this isn't for either side. There are 26 children that were murdered at some location in the Gaza Strip where people went in and beheaded children. That I whatever your issue is, that you're angry, that you're upset, you don't touch children. You don't touch women. Not saying that men are okay, but there are just some things. That's an innocent child. You only thing that you gain from that is by causing terror and anger. What were you going to say, Mr. Harp?
I mean, there's really nothing to say. There's no defense for any of this. There's no. The unfortunate thing and the reality is that we're constantly in wars all around the world, all around the world. And I'm gonna get to this in just a second. The Ukraine thing, we forgot about that.
Right.
It's
Right.
we're not talking about that anymore. Though it's a major war, this Jewish Palestine war. Okay, this is biblical. This is historical. This is as old as it gets. Okay, this is brother against brother. This is cousin against cousin. This is family against family. We're talking 12 tribes of Israel. So all of these different countries, nationalities, peoples, they're all related.
And they've been fighting since, like you said, since the beginning.
Since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
Now, as unfortunate as all of this is, the atrocities of any war, the atrocity of any combat, the atrocities. You see, the people, the civilians, they're collateral damage.
Right.
Just as the buildings, just as the roads, everything is collateral damage. And missiles, bullets, none of them have names on them. They just shot out of a weapon. Okay. And these devastating projectiles that will destroy buildings and destroy 16 rooms when you're only out to get one person.
Right.
Will kill hundreds who are standing around that one person. And this is what happens. And no one should find any pleasure out of children being taken off this planet too early.
Right.
The ugly means by decapitations, gunfire, bombs. I'm not even going to go into the entire list of ways of destruction. But when children are involved, it takes on a whole new level. Everybody's emotions get involved because we're all children at one time. And then we make babies, and so we all get a little bit emotional about that, and it's horrible. Now, as far as the war, it's been going on since the beginning of time, and the path to the end is that there's going to continue to be wars, especially amongst the Israelites, the Jews. And as horrible as this is, it's got to come to pass. Now, from my vision, what's so horrible is how here in America we have to take sides.
Yes,
they're related. Two things can be true.
They can be. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That you can support Palestine. The people who support, listen, I'm not trying to make anything light of this. And please, Ms. Davis, I don't want anybody, I want you to understand, and I want your listeners to understand. This is, it's not as simple as choosing two teams in a competitive sport.
Right.
But what you're going to have is you're going to have people who represent both sides. And when you're here in America in this melting pot, you're going to have people representing both sides.
That's
you even have people who don't have anything, no skin in the game, no vested interest in the war, picking a side.
Yeah.
I see Alicia Keys just got flack for wearing the Palestinian colors at a concert.
Yes.
I hear that people don't want to hire Harvard-educated people because they support Palestine.
Yes.
And this is just a tragedy. You get a Colin Kaepernick situation. Colin Kaepernick, excuse me. He takes a knee and he's vilified. You have to choose a side, and you can be sympathetic to both sides. So two things can be true. It's a sad situation, and there is no right answer. If there was a right answer, then the wars would have been settled years ago.
Yes, true.
But there is no right answer. This is brother against brother, cousin against cousin, uncles, nephews, nieces, aunts, all fighting against each other because they all come from the same source.
That's right. That is right. So let's switch gears a little bit, because I want to bring us back up. Because you're right, it is a somber situation. There is no easy answer. However, when we get to Trump, what's the latest? Because he got slapped by the judge and told him, you need to shut up. And I know we're not supposed to say shut up. She said, shut up. He was like, you can't tell me to shut up. She said, I just did.
And then she said, and if you do it again, I will put you on house arrest. I might even put you in jail.
That's right. I said, ooh.
I was like, oh, on the record.
Right, on the record.
Yeah, this wasn't, find out what station you're gonna listen to and they say, I wonder what she's gonna think. No.
She told you exactly what she was thinking. But go ahead, Mr. Harp.
My name is Eileen Cannon.
And I am a judge. They've given me this role. This is my role. This is my position. And guess whose case is before me? Oh, it's yours.
That's what I'm liking. I love it. And she's not taking, and the way he trying to stand up and argue, like, can I please just talk about they mama? Not yours, but can I talk about they mama?
It's like not having it at all. Like she's not playing at all. Like she's super serious. But one of the things that I loved about the conversation initially surrounding her was how dedicated a legal servant she was. She's very serious. She's not one of these people that's, fly by night. She takes the law very, very seriously. And everybody said, "Ooh, she is tough." And so I said, you know what? That's what needed to happen. He needed somebody who would put him in his place, who could literally tell him, no, you cannot do that. So we'll see, um, how he continues to react because he keeps thumbing his nose at everybody.
Well, here's the thing, Mrs. Davis, is that the news cycle, all the oxygen in the air has been sucked up by the wars.
Yes.
And so we're not hearing day to day Trump, day to day Trump.
Mm-hmm.
However, October 23rd is next week.
Right.
So we have a couple of this RICO trial that starts next week.
Interesting.
And so what we're gonna have is a whole lot of talking. It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
have a whole lot of wheels starting to turn. So
Mm-hmm.
October 23rd is that magic day for one of the major trials to start, the RICO charge.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I can't wait to see what comes out of the news cycle, what comes out of comes out of the fray,
Mm-hmm.
because the 24 hours, the airstrikes, and this will dominate the news for a little while.
Yes.
All of the atrocities will dominate the news for a little while, and then we'll slowly drip into the other stories. So it's going to be interesting. I can't wait to talk about it next time I see you.
I know, right? I'll be watching court TV just to soak up some of the details and go, "Ooh, that was testimony. Wow."
Did you hear that?
Right? All right, let's continue moving on. So we still have a strike that is beginning to cripple our auto industry and the part supplier. Talk a little bit about that, Mr. Harp.
What are we on? Like, it's got to be 2 months.
I don't
Um,
think has it been that long?
I'm sorry,
Has it been that
we lost
long?
count. We have to
The
double
sh-
check. It's been
yes,
multiple
yes,
weeks. It's been
it has.
multiple weeks.
Yes.
And I believe that we're going over a month. So
Mhm,
we're
mhm,
going into our second month.
mhm,
Um, but what we have, everything's being affected.
mhm,
Okay, Detroit, this is our major supply.
mhm,
This is our major supply is automobiles,
mhm.
and now we can't do it.
Right.
Now we cannot do it. There's no cars being made, no parts being shipped. Everything is being shut down.
Mhm.
The workers that are in front of the plants, they're getting a little strike pay, but pretty soon that's going to start to run out. And that's going to start to affect everything. The economy is really going to start suffering.
Mhm.
Um, and it's been so long, it's not even what are we doing now?
Right.
The companies are going to starve the workers out. The UAW is going to starve the company out and the workers out
Mhm.
because the workers are the ones caught in the middle,
Exactly.
just trying to provide for the families,
Mhm.
doing, working at this 100-year-old um, business,
Mhm.
trying to make a living in the city where this is where our main export is.
Mhm.
So things are hurting.
Yes.
Things are hurting in the city, and then things are hurting in the states surrounding it because now you have Ohio workers. You have
Mhm.
the truck business that has to get to parts down south, parts to the West Coast, parts to the East Coast. Nothing is happening.
Right.
You got manufacturing plants, and let alone the small companies.
Mhm.
The small
Mhm.
companies who rely, the electronics companies or the air conditioning companies who have to supply the vehicle makers. Everybody's hurting.
Mhm.
And it's hard to even find stuff at the local um, advanced auto parts. So I don't want to shout out
Right.
all the
But if you
companies,
need
but
oil or something, you go to the auto store and it's like, "Ooh, they have a shortage." Yeah, we waiting on the shipment. That shipment is delayed.
yeah, it's it's rough all over, and especially when you're in the epicenter.
Mhm.
When you're in the epicenter and you get to see the people who normally would have restaurants full for the workers as they transition on shifts. You would have the stores that would supply the neighborhoods where the people are. Nothing is happening.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know, when you go by the main plants on Michigan Avenue, and you have people standing outside all along Michigan Avenue for miles, holding picket signs, rain or shine. You know, it's things are rough all over,
Mhm.
and
There.
things have definitely got to change. And you know, this this wealth gap of the haves and the have-nots. You know, it had changed for a moment when the quick dollar,
Mhm.
uh, with the cryptocurrencies, where everybody
Mhm.
gets rich quickly. But it's not. It doesn't last. And so now
Right.
we're back to this wealth gap. What you have is those who have um, created these attics upstairs that you can't get into, where you can go ahead and play down on the lower levels. You
Mhm.
know, go ahead, play with that little money. Won't last anyway because you can't use it to invest, and what you do invest in doesn't last.
Right.
And so the business model of our the business model of our economic system has changed. Our capitalistic business model has changed, and so go ahead, get rich quick, but you won't be able to hold on to that kind of money.
Yeah.
Spend it, spend it, spend it.
Mhm. Mhm. All right. So I want to move into our fitness topic because you're talking a lot about people hurting and people struggling. And we always talk about how fitness and exercise is good for the biggest muscle in our body, our brains. It's also good for our bodies to help release stress, to
Mhm.
get the feel good hormones going through our bodies. But Mr. Harp, talk to us about circuit training because I know a lot of people will say, hey, you just need to do some circuit training. What is circuit training and is it helpful for us?
Well, training is helpful. Get to the gym, move around. Try to say this to you every time. Now, um, there's different ways of training, of course, different
Mhm.
approaches, I should say.
Mhm.
Um, Now, having a personal trainer, someone like myself, that will take you through different workouts to enhance and strengthen muscles, ligaments, and things of that nature. Um, have a systematic approach. Okay. In circuit training, it's a systematic approach where you may not have to have a trainer with you. Okay.
Mhm.
Where you target muscle groups.
Mhm.
Okay. What I like to do is keep it simple. I like to start head to toe. Okay. So we would start up in the neck and shoulder area, your trapezoids. Okay. And we work our shoulders. And then we work down into our arms. Our right and left arms. We'll break them down singularly into our chest and our back. We'll do a little abs and lower back. And then we move down below the waist. So now we
Mhm.
concentrate the exercise on the thighs, the front and the back of the thighs, you know. And then we concentrate below the knee. We work the knee, we work the calf, we work the Achilles, the ankles, and then do different exercises with the feet with balance and things of that nature. So what I would do is I would take clients through in a circuit.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, and what we could do is we would have in this circuit do every exercise once. We'll come back to the beginning and do every exercise again, second set. We'll
Okay.
come back around, and on third set, every exercise will be touched 3 times. So you don't have to do the exercises 3 times in a row before you move on to another exercise. So we create a circuit. Okay. Um, Now, for those who go in without a trainer, though, you might want to do it upper body. Make Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, if you can fit a schedule like that, and turn that into your upper body. Take the Tuesdays and Thursdays. And if you can fit a Saturday, that's fine. Make that
Mhm.
your lower body days. So you concentrate your exercises within those body areas. Now we can then break it down further. Like I like to go from head to toe. So we start with the shoulders, the arms, the abs, the chest, back, all that, all the way down to the waist.
Mhm.
Work the glutes a little bit. Now everything's lower body. Okay. And once we finish that, we'll move on to a cool down. Okay, and some cool downs, light exercises, light bring regulating your breathing, and we bring it down from what you're doing, stretch, and then we go home for the day, and then we come back again on the next top opportunity, and we start a different circuit. And so, in a nutshell, that's a circuit training.
Is there a difference? Because you hinted at it that there is a difference between, for example, having a personal trainer in terms of what you would do. So the question would be, if someone is looking to start working out at a gym, would you recommend them signing up with a personal trainer, or is circuit training something that they can start with?
Well, of course, as a trainer, I would recommend find out what it is that you're doing. Come in, let a person know what are you looking for.
Hmm.
Some people just want to hit the gym and don't know what to do once they get in. Where do you start? There's so many things here. What do I do first?
Right.
Okay. And sometimes that can be so intimidating that people don't come back. It could be so intimidating that people will have paid their membership to come, but won't come because there's just so many things to do and they don't know where to go.
Hmm.
So I would recommend, yes, working with the personal trainer. Now, personal trainers who are on call or on staff at gyms, certain establishments, may offer a free intro or a modified discount on a first workout or first couple workouts. Okay, so that you can take some of the anxiety out of being inside the gym.
Hmm.
Now, for someone who knows a little bit more about what they're doing, and there's using a personal trainer is always great.
Hmm.
Personal trainer would definitely keep you on the right track and make sure that you're doing the proper exercises to help you get to your goals. But there are some ways that those who plan to come to the gym can do this on their own. Okay. Again, it's all about dedication,
Hmm.
being safe, using the machines and the weights properly. Okay. And there's nothing that's going to happen overnight. Oh, there's no one that's going to happen. Your best injections won't get it overnight.
That's right.
So um, it's going to take a little work. It's going to take a lot of work, hard work,
Hmm.
and a plan.
Hmm.
So personal trainers can help you with a plan. Again, this is the biggest muscle. Having
Yes.
to work the brain. Okay, and that brain will tell your muscles stop.
Hmm.
That brain will start to tell you you don't want to do this. But you have to use that other side of your brain that says yes you do,
Hmm.
yes you can,
Hmm.
and listen to that voice because it's worth it. And again,
Absolutely.
then once you start seeing the effects uh, of exercise, the side effects of working out, the wonderful side effects, then it starts to become a lot more manageable. Now, of course, I always seem to dominate when I start talking like this, but what I would suggest to anyone who's looking to get into the gym, call first, do some research, look them up online, see what kind of things that they offer. Do they offer the things that you're looking for? Okay. There are gyms that have for families so that families can work out together. They have daycare. Some have children's jungle gyms based on age and physical ability, with rock climbing walls and other activities, swimming pools, depending on what your budget is and what gym is in your area and what it is that you're looking for. Um, it's not always about weights and resistance. The water is great. Getting in the water and just walking, bouncing, swimming, running. Um, there's lots of benefits to working out in water. There's weights that you can use while you're in water. Okay. For those who have balance issues or for those who have uh, who would just prefer to do softer workouts. Okay. There's working out with fitness classes. There's working out with fitness balls or with kettlebells. There's working out with traditional machines like your Um, your stair climbers or treadmills or your pedal bikes. You can sit down or you can sit on a seat like you're riding a bike. There's many different styles. And again, these are different types of workouts.
Mm-hmm.
Use them in a circuit, and you can study things online. But do your due diligence and look the gym up, find out what they offer and see what they have for you. Community centers, and utilize them. There's silver sneakers for those who are 65 and above, can use your health insurance and silver sneakers and get into the gym. There should be nothing to hold anyone back from doing any kind of physical exercise, especially those who are currently seeing physical therapists,
Mm-hmm.
who have to do some type of exercise to rehabilitate an injury or to stay active in a particular movement. Go back to the gym and work out at that gym. And you'll be amazed at some of the things that you'll be able to continue doing. Biggest muscle.
Yes, it is. That is awesome, Mr. Harp. So I was reading a study in the National Institutes of Health, and I was fascinated by this, and I wanted you to talk about it. For every pound that we lose, it releases 4 pounds of pressure on our knees. Talk about that, Mr. Harp.
Well, your knees are wonderful. Those joints have shock absorbers, so that that cartilage that's in between our knees takes a lot of wear and tear.
Yeah.
And our gravity, our sense of gravity and our balance. Now, I'm not the science guy. I'm not the one to break down the entire calculation. But I will tell you that the lighter you are on your knees. Now, just losing 1 pound is going to tremendously affect how much pressure and how much weight we put down, our gravity. And when we come down, it's going to take a lot of shock. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And for those who have lost weight or have especially lost any significant amount of weight and find out that I didn't know I could do this. I didn't know I could walk, run, bounce, jump. Would be amazed at some of the things that their ankles and their knees can do.
Mm-hmm.
Simply by taking some of the weight off. So now that's a very good point. I don't see it in the calculation, but I do see it in the work.
Absolutely. You absolutely do. I can attest to it. As I'm losing weight, I'm going through a process right now of trying to get some weight off. My knees do feel better. It is a real thing. And I thought, wow, 4 pounds of pressure for every 1 pound that you lose. That's
Come on now. Turn that into 10 pounds, and then that's 40
that's
pounds
40 pounds of pressure, right? We don't
pressure.
realize it. Sometimes, people say, I just need to lose 10 pounds. That's 40 additional pounds of pressure on your knees that you're carrying. And if you're carrying a lot of weight, like you're 50 pounds or 100 pounds overweight, that's a lot of weight on your joints. Not just only on your knees, but your arms, your other muscles in your leg. Everything has to compensate to try to carry that weight. So, but thank you, Mr. Harp. This has been a fascinating conversation as always. Before we get out of here, tell us how we can follow you, how we can find you, and how we can reach out to you.
All right. On social media, you can find me under Eric Harp, Eric Harp 360, ESQ 360. That's me. Email me at erichtharp9@gmail.com. Ask me any questions you want. I'll respond.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Harp, for being here. We know that next month you'll have another exciting topic, and I can't wait to jump into it. I'm sure the trial will be going, and we'll have an opportunity to talk all Trump RICO charges, because that is going to be a juicy trial.
I'm voting for my man, Hakeem Jeffries.
That's right.
I want to see him succeed.
That's right. We'll have an update next month. Thank you
right.
guys for tuning in to the Kim B. Davis Show. We are so thankful that you are continuing to support us and continue to watch us. You know, you can find me as Kimberly Basher Davis on all your social medias from Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, everywhere on social media. Kimberly Basher Davis. You can see this show at youtube.com/Kimberly Basher Davis. You can hear this show on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Google, and the app Wisdom. You can learn more about me as an author at kimbdavis.com. Thank you again for tuning in. I hope you'll join us on our next episode. And as always, remember, be magnificent.